Hey, I'm reasonably well travelled, but I've never gone north of the border there. I've never been to Canada, but I'm pretty keen to get there. And one of the reasons is I'd love to meet the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. We all need a bit of guidance, bit of moral inspiration in our lives, and I think he's given it to us in this clip.
Now, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Mark, he's still a proud feminist, but he just thinks they elected the wrong sex in the US.
Was that Justin Trudeau? I barely recognised him when he's not in blackface. I barely recognised the man. That's I can't believe that's him. But what a goose! You know, he's completely wrong as well. Kamala Harris didn't get elected because she was a woman. She didn't get elected because she was an idiot. That's what happened. So there's anything worse, if you saw it from the American election, is pandering to the left wing isn't going to get you the votes that you need to survive, and he's got a hell of a fight up against him. It's not going to work to get himself to get elected, and worse than that, he's just completely wrong. So I know he's in a bit of trouble, old Trudeau.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd just like to add to that,
Mark,
mate.
You mentioned his... Yeah, I'll come to you on it, mate, because Mark mentioned the blackface. You know, he has a history of blackface, and I think we've got a picture here of Justin Trudeau in blackface. Tim, he could have actually put himself up as the first woman of colour to be elected in the Canadian Parliament.
Oh yeah, and the first Cuban, if certain rumours are true. But I'm always amazed at this, where people just disregard, as Mark said, they disregard all the policies. It's just gender, it's just sex. But I'd like to say something, being a proud feminist myself, I'd like to say something completely non-sexist, a statement of pure non-sexism, that a woman is equally capable as a man of being an absolutely terrible candidate, just as hopeless, just as useless as the worst man. So, you know, there you go. You've got a totally level playing field. The fact that we've had two women candidates in the US, great. The fact that they've lost, admirably so, is not because they were women. It's because they ran with awful campaigns and everybody hated them.
Yep.
Well, indeed. So when you have a look at the current First Lady of the US, you can see the impact that Kamala Harris has had. Have a look at Jill Biden.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, you know, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, I don't know, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need like this, you know, we all need to feel joy now.
Well, if you're wondering how she ever got to sound so wise and inspirational, well, she got that from Kamala Harris. Have a look.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning.
Oh, it's just embarrassing stuff. There you go, Mark. It proves that you and Tim are both right. You know, it's about the qualities of the individual. Forget about the skin colour and the genitalia.
Exactly, mate. And it looks like the only way they're getting any joy at the moment, Kamala and Dr. Jill, is through happy hour at the moment. But to be in contrast, I'm full of joy. I'm so happy about what's going on in America. I'm actually, for the first time in 4 years, when you said you're going to America, I'm not deeply concerned about your safety while you're over there and what it's going to be like over there. I'm actually genuinely excited about what the future holds. I couldn't be happier, to be honest. It's and I hope this reverberates across everywhere, including here in Australia. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tim, Time Magazine are weighing up who they're going to give the Person of the Year mantle to. They've talked about Kamala Harris. She's on the short list, as is Princess Catherine and Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and the first female president of Mexico. Surely it's that man top right, though. He's the Person of the Year. He's come back and done what nobody thought was possible, really, historically.
Absolutely. I mean, the only way you'd go for Kamala in that lineup would be if, she's done the verbal equivalent of what Trudeau did in Canada. She's done black voice, which we just heard an example of there before. But just like, as a former Time magazine staffer, I'd just like to point out that the whole Man of the Year, as it was originally, it wasn't an honour, it wasn't a celebration, it was just to note the most significant human being. So Hitler won it because, of course, early 30s, he was massively significant. It wasn't good or bad, it was just who was the most prominent and newsworthy individual. So then, of course, Time wussed out massively and just decided they'd go with the celebration, which is a situation they've built for themselves to their enormous discredit. Now it is a celebration and they can't get around it, but it has to be Trump. It has to be Trump.
It's got to be Trump on both those criteria, I would have thought, this time around. And if they go back to the old-fashioned version, then maybe one day it'll be the AFL umpires. We'll save that for another time. Thanks for joining us, Mark and Tim. It's been great having you on the show all year, and I can't wait to what 2025 holds for us.